everybody. We are
Mine
back.
doesn't save the clip.
What
God, we're
clip?
back.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we are back to talk about Ultimatum season 3, mainly the reunion because the first episode honestly low-key sucked.
Yeah, the engagements or the ultimatum day. I think that's what it is. But
Yeah, those are boring.
yeah, they
You
are.
know, they thought they had me with that JR Sandy stuff, but actually they really did use it as clickbait. I was really hoping they weren't doing that, but they actually did.
Yeah, I figured that it was going to be that. But I mean, like we thought, I think they were the only ones that could have walked away with each other. So it could have been very much possible. But at the same time, I don't know, they still walked away single. So I think there's something to be said about that, at least.
Yeah, at first I thought they were like in cahoots about that. Like that they
You
decided to
know,
walk away single like on purpose, but
I think so too, because did you see the way that JR walked away from Sandy? It was such a slow walk, sort of like, are you sure? It was sad. I think the way that he walked away from Sandy and walked to his engagement, no, thank God that that engagement
yeah.
wasn't an engagement.
Yeah, he didn't go through with that. He he walked right over to Zaina and said, "Nah, I can't." And honestly, I think she should have expected it. I feel like this man was distancing himself the entire time.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
I almost think this was some kind of easy out for him or something.
That's a definite possibility, but I think, Zaina has just been my queen through this whole show. She's just carried herself so well. I think she's learned a lot about herself. She came to this process to learn about herself, but also not to have a hall pass, which I mean,
We'll
let's
get into
just
it. Do
okay.
we just want to go by couple, basically, and do everything?
I don't know. That's fine.
I mean, honestly, the first episode isn't much. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Yeah, but I mean, if you just want to get into JR and Sandy and what is it? Oh, Zaina.
Zaina. Yeah.
Zaina. Yeah, and I wrongly said that Zaina is Cheyenne's cousin.
Oh,
They're
she's not.
friends.
Okay.
They're friends. They're like best friends or something.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
wrongly said that they were cousins, that they were related. It looks like it.
Well,
So
they have a bunch of posts together, don't they?
they do have a bunch of posts together. They are friends. In fact, Cheyenne interviewed her for her podcast, and that interview like came out the same day as the reunion. So
Oh,
I thought that was interesting.
wow.
But I was listening to it before actually coming on here today.
Yeah.
I was listening to a part of it, and she kind of goes off on the podcast. And in fact, did you know that Cheyenne and I think Zach possibly, but definitely Cheyenne, possibly her mom or Zach, filmed with JR and Scotty in their meetups, and they didn't show us either meetup. That's all filmed.
Oh, so that's all that all was filmed, but none of it got
Yeah.
aired for the ultimatum.
Yep. And I guess that Zaina also, for Zaina and JR, a big point of contention in their relationship was social media.
Right.
So Netflix didn't even really air any of that. Apparently, JR wanted some wild stuff, and he was talking to Cheyenne about it.
Well, obviously, remember what he said to Sandy about the
Yeah.
man shouldn't have to share his girl, but he should basically be able to claim his woman,
Uh-huh.
which is so weird. No, that doesn't make any sense. So there's more. There's more to the story.
Yeah, so I guess he had this list that he told Cheyenne about. I guess he talked to Cheyenne when they were doing the meetup because they do the meetup with Scotty, and then they also did a meetup with JR when they got back together. And during that meetup, he was talking about the issue about social media in their relationship. And basically he thought that if she was engaging with his social media, that it would affect his engagement. Like that people wouldn't see his stuff if she's liking and commenting on his
Oh,
stuff.
gotcha.
It was a kind of a way to keep her off of his social media. I guess he was really, really weird about social media. And that he wanted her to, instead of liking his photos, he wanted her to share his photos.
Of course he did. So he wants her to promote him like some sort of unpaid,
Yeah.
beautiful promoter, but he meanwhile doesn't want to claim a single thing, doesn't want to have any responsibility. You know what? My hate for this man deepens. I don't understand why
Oh,
he
yeah.
why is our girl Zaina wanting to even marry him?
Well, and Cheyenne says that she's seen him before and after the show and during, and they all say that he was a different person before the show. So Zaina thinks that he did use the show as a way of like kind of breaking it off with her. And who knows? I kind of agree with that in hindsight because the way that he was talking explicitly on the show, that was her big thing, was he didn't really talk like that. In fact, Cheyenne said that she never even really heard him talk when they would be in social gatherings.
She said she's never seen him cry before, and they've been together for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole engagement scene was so weird to me. First of all, he pulls her out of the car, doesn't kiss her, doesn't hug her, doesn't give her any sort of affection, walks her over to the front of this weird house. Did you think that was weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of set is that?
It
It's
was like, I have to do this. Let's get it done.
exactly how it felt, just in the front of the driveway. We won't do it in front of this car. We'll take 6 steps over here. And then he's
Mm-hmm.
saying all this nice stuff and how he can't live without her and he can see his life with her and he wants to be his best with her. He grabs her hand and then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, except I don't think I'm ready for that, which he's damn right he's not ready for that. But the lead up was so weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was strange.
It didn't make any sense to me. I'm glad that it all happened the way it did. And even Zaina at the reunion said, thank God that all this happened the way that it did. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that she has that perspective for herself. But I was just so confused.
Did you think it was weird that they also, him and Sandy, that they matched at the
Did
at
they
the
though? Because she's in black.
finale? No, at the finale. Because she wore that black thing with the cross necklace, and then he had the black with the
Oh,
chain as well. Like it just kind
yeah.
of matched. And they
Wow.
were both there to say no.
I know. I know. Do
So I
you?
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's just crazy. But
I just say real quick, I know we're not talking about her yet, but let me move this all the way down. What is this?
I was
Okay, that's
noticing that too.
okay. I
I think
thought it
it's the
was a
lighting.
purple sock. Okay.
No, I think it's the lighting.
Okay. I was like, please tell me she did not wear purple stockings.
No, I noticed that too.
Tell me that's
Actually, I
not
was.
purple.
No, it is. I was worried that her foot was.
Losing circulation? Me too.
You know how sometimes your shoes are just a little too tight around the heel right there?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That was just a
So,
moment I had. Sorry.
yeah,
Anyway.
I had the same moment. I'm glad that you said it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, this was kind of
And
intense, their little back and forth. JR went in there trying to almost manipulate everybody into thinking that he came there to get back with Zaina, which everybody does this. Clay did the same thing. What's with all these guys coming back to the reunion and just being like, oh, I thought there'd be a chance we could work this out after you haven't spoken to somebody almost for probably months at this
yeah.
point, and it sounds like it ended pretty badly.
It sounds like it's almost still not really over either. All of these couples still seem to be talking to each other in some way, shape, or form. Damn, Sandy was driving, what's his name, to rehab.
Yeah, but apparently he's with somebody now. I'm sick of these people saying that they're with somebody and then they don't show me a picture of who they're with.
That's
Like,
true
like,
too. That's
like
so
this is
true.
me and my new girlfriend. Like,
Yeah,
somebody do that, please. Like, this
right.
needs to be fact checked. Because of
Yeah.
course you're gonna go back to the reunion and be like, oh yeah, I'm kind of talking to somebody right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Jan, sure. Producer.
Right. But yeah, I'm very, very, very excited that JR ended up making the right choice, but I just don't
Yeah.
know how he came up with all those words and then ended up saying no. But, hats off to him, I suppose.
I guess. It was weird just the back and forth. He would say something and then Zaina would be like, "No, it's this way." And then he would like half agree with her and be like, "She like the Christmas thing." He's like, "She's just mad we didn't spend Christmas together." She's like, "We did." And he's like,
Yeah.
"I know, but" it's like,
I
"No,
know. Well, that's what I mean. They seem like they're all still hanging out with each other. It doesn't make any sense to me.
it's like, did you spend Christmas together or not?"
They did. They did spend Christmas together. I believe Zaina. I don't believe a word that comes out of JR's lying mouth. He just wants to hide every single girl. That's why he was sitting on the couch and I don't know, Vanessa or whatever was asking JR about, oh, what are you up to these days? And he's just all, oh, I'm just living life. I feel like he's one of those guys that just living life means he's got a different girl that he's going to dinner with and taking out every single night, and he just doesn't care to have any attachments to anyone, and that's fine. You can have fun. I'm not judging you, but I feel like he's not the type to be honest with these women about his intentions of not being shit. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm
just
mad at JR. He just gets worse and worse.
yeah, I can't believe he was sitting up there trying to like almost kind of make it seem like she's coming at him hot, but she is coming at him hot only because he did act totally different behind the
Came
scenes. I
at him
mean,
with the damn fingernail QR code or whatever.
she
I mean,
did come at him
my
with
fingernails
what?
are so long right now that I could probably fit a QR code on them, but
Mhm.
I've never heard of that. I was shook.
Yeah, I what did she even produce from that?
She produced, it seemed like some text messages, but at least from what they showed on the show, it was only a series of maybe two exchanges back and forth, maybe
Did we
4 or
need
6 messages.
the nail QR code for that? They're not allowed to have their phones.
Apparently not.
So
She
like
asked
they're
she
they're
asked if
held
anyone.
captive. They're held captive by Netflix until after this reunion. So she's like, "Give me that QR code." Like,
Oh my god, yeah. And how is it Nick Lachey is like, I got my phone.
yeah, the keepers. They're like, the keepers. Like, do you guys have your phones? Like, why wouldn't everyone have their phone? Like, at
That's
least
true.
in close proximity. I mean, maybe not on their person, but maybe like a producer can hurry up and hand you your phone really quick.
Yeah.
Like, I
So
don't
her
know.
theory that she was trying to prove with these messages, I'm pretty sure she was what was she trying to say?
I think just that Scotty didn't hear it from her, or she didn't tell JR about Scotty.
The hall pass thing.
Yeah,
That's
the
what it
hall
was.
passing.
She was trying to prove that it came from Scotty's girl, right?
Yeah,
Aria.
yeah,
Which in reality, they ran back the clips and it came straight from the mouth of JR.
yeah. Who
He
knew
said
that
it.
she didn't even need the nail thing?
Girl, she said, shout out to my nail tag. You could have just shouted out Netflix like the damn cutie scene.
Oh yeah.
Somebody roll the clips. That's all she had to say.
I wish they would have showed the interactions with Cheyenne. I think that would have been so interesting to see her on a Netflix show. But
I think so, yeah.
I
I
I'm not I'm definitely not shocked that social media was a bigger issue in their relationship. I'm just more shocked that Netflix didn't show that. Like they seem to paint him in a much better light, I think, than he acted the entire
I
time.
think so. Yeah, there's always someone who gets too good of an edit. I think JR is that one. He's that guy
Mhm.
this season.
I think they were
Not
trying
that
to
Zayn
sell
got a
us.
bad one. What?
Right. No, sorry. I think they were trying to sell us Sandy and JR as some kind of love story.
Oh yeah, they definitely were. Sandy is not interested in JR, and JR has
No.
such a big ego that he thinks everyone is interested in him. So I think he really thought he had a shot with that woman.
Right. And he did not.
She does not want to give that man the time of day. She lived with him for 3 weeks and she said, no, thank you, sir. You are way too self-centered and egotistical for me.
Yeah.
And
They were
I'm dating
affectionate.
a maniac.
Uh-huh. Oh, of course. And they were affectionate. And they were pretty hot and heavy for a second. But I think once he said the social media stuff, I think then they might have been talking about it more. And she was like, man, this guy's crazy. Just like Nick.
He's
Like,
a weirdo. He's just weird. I can't stand that stuff. There's just something so strange about feeling like you have the ability to claim someone publicly, but they can't claim you
yeah.
publicly. It's just weird.
It's just, yeah. And
It's
that's
a
kind
mind
of all
game. You're
Jan.
either with somebody or you're not with somebody. What do you mean?
Yeah. He's never posted in 3 years. He's never posted a single photo of this woman. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm too regular of a person and I'm not a brand or trying to be a brand, but I feel like you can still have a partner. Isn't that what that girl was dealing with on the last season of The Ultimatum? Why she didn't want to get married because she didn't think it was good for her brand, her little nipple brand.
Oh, Roxanne.
Yes.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Yeah. I feel like Roxanne and JR might be good for each other.
Yeah. I feel like
Possible.
it's possible, but I think Roxanne got married. I think her and MGK got married, but
Actually,
I think actually, but
I'm
I'm not
looking it
sure. I
up.
might have to fact check that.
I'm fact checking.
Yeah. People keep coming after Sandy because they think she's just like a Jessica knockoff. And I honestly think there there's so many variations of that looking girl that it's kinda, you know?
That's true. I think that that is a really super good point. However, I also think she looks like Jessica in her early 20s still. I mean,
Yeah.
they, yeah, they did get married. You are correct.
Mm-hmm. Loves us a good fairy
They got
tale.
married on October 26th this year.
An ultimatum success story.
Ooh, she looks good.
Hmm.
Let me share.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, who do you want to get into next? I mean, unless you got anything else to talk to about, or talk about JR. I don't have much else with him.
Look at that.
Wow. Look at her heels.
I know.
I
That's
love this for them,
amazing.
honestly. MGK wanted this so badly. And here he
Yeah,
has it.
this is so cute. He does look like MGK.
He really does look
I
at
forgot. They're so funny in this. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay.
Anyways, who would you like to discuss?
I think it's natural that we just move on to Sandy and is his name Nick?
Yes.
I keep not wanting to call him Nick because of Nick.
Nick.
So I just keep thinking of Nick.
It
But
seems like
okay, if
there's
his name's
always a
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just the natural progression because we started off with JR and Sandy. JR went and did not have his proposal with Zaina, and so now it's probably time to discuss Nick.
Nick. Look at Nick. Anyways, yeah, it seems like him and Zaina had this little text exchange as well while the episodes were airing. Like, man, I knew it. Nick seems pretty vilified or justified or whatever in his actions of acting a nut because he's like, I knew there was something going down right above my head. Right above his head. Netflix, you really couldn't put like a floor in between these people.
That is insane. And we figured out why he was sitting on the bench while they were outside.
Yeah, like what are you?
Netflix took him out there and sat him out there for a damn interview, knowing some other producers were just upstairs filming a dinner at the same damn time.
Netflix is messy. They want to
They're
trigger this
dirty for
man.
that. They wanted this man to have a complete meltdown. They
They
saw his
did.
weaknesses, they saw he was not doing
Yeah,
well, and they just made it worse.
they did.
Like, even at the crossover dinner where you choose the other partners or whatever, when he just could not even contain his face, he was wiggling around in the chair. They saw then that he was going to be the weak point. And I'm
Uh-huh.
also glad, even though I hate what's her name, Vanessa and her stupid man, I'm glad that they came back. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that we were able to confirm that Nick is actually borderline psychotic. He drinks too much. He is entirely too emotional. He's like a roller coaster ride. I
Mhm.
mean, we were seeing just a little bit of that, but I figured that that is why women were being repelled from him left and right. There, he
Right.
ran through 3 women out of 6 on the whole show.
Right. Like Mariah couldn't even be living in with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. He ran through the most women ever on the history of the Ultimatum on one season.
Uh-huh. And I feel like more happened because she's being weirdly vague. Like she said to somebody, I don't know, I saw it in a Reddit comment, that she was going to talk more about it after the reunion. But it's like, why don't you just talk about it at the reunion when you're right in front of him? Like right now,
That's true. Yeah.
if
Probably
that's
so
the case.
that he can't defend himself
I
for
don't know.
good and bad reasons.
I'm sure he was acting a nut, but it was strange how they came in so hot. Everyone came into this interview hot. I have never seen such an intro. It seemed like everybody was about to fight a WWE match or something. Everyone
Everybody
had their
looked
monologue.
pissed.
And
I
they all
know,
had a
and I
monologue.
wonder how yeah, I wonder how close in time this was after the ultimatum day because everyone just came in reeling, like just had something to say to somebody. Nobody could even bear to smile when they were introduced. They were all just
Yeah,
ready.
my theory is that it was filmed not that long ago, but that because I mean a lot had happened. I mean somebody had had a miscarriage and already tried living together and all that. So I do think a whole year had passed at least since the filming to the reunion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, everybody was coming in hot with their stupid monologues too. Like, I got receipts on this. So, like, it was crazy. I've never seen such like vengeance in people's
Mhm.
voices
I
about
know.
a reunion. Like, they were
I know.
coming in ready to go. Aria, for sure. She was like, I got this and I got receipts and I hope he told her about this. And I'm like, whoa, man.
Yeah, she's
I
so
was
mad
waiting
at
for something to really be happening, but apparently not. But we'll get to that.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone came in super hot. And these people did too. When they sat down, that she was like, yeah, Nick, I am here. Remember? And he's like, yeah, I wanted to know if you were going to be here so we could hash this out. She's like, yeah, that's what you said. Like she
You
was
said
so
you needed it. And it's like, who cares who needed it? You are like you have a contract. You probably were asked if you wanted to come because you literally left. And so
Mhm.
that's all. We all are wanting this. It's not just Nick that needs this. We all
Right.
need and want to know why you left him, caused your man to leave whoever the hell he was with, and then put a whole other couple in a tailspin. And
Mhm.
yeah, they screwed the whole entire thing up. So yeah, Nick might want to know why she left specifically, but they owe it to everybody to explain.
Right. And he might have messaged her beforehand just to make sure she was coming or to, to at least be prepared for what he might talk to her or to be
Yeah.
prepared that she's not coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that that's the weirdest thing that he asked. I mean, I probably wouldn't ask, but
Right. Yeah.
it's not the
But
strangest thing.
he definitely could have said a lot of other things.
Yeah, it just seemed like he was like, "Are you coming?" And she
Right.
was like, "What's it to you?" He was like, "Well, I just want to
That's
know what
exactly it.
happened."
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's what it.
Yeah.
That's what it was giving. It was giving like a nah. Like, like
Is she
it was
engaged? Are
strange.
they engaged?
She said he took her ring shopping. So
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
yes, we love looking at them.
Not really. I'd rather look at Nick, to be honest, even. He's pretty disgusting, too.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
so
yeah,
yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think
their big
the way
thing.
that Nick carried himself in the season and anything was, I think it was all pretty despicable, especially learning
Yeah.
more about the way that he was talking. Obviously, we knew that he was going a little, like, he was excessively communicating, to say the least, to Sandy.
Mhm.
And obviously showing up was not okay, but I think even last time when we were talking, I was kind of feeling bad for him, but at the same time I think he's just he's a little borderline emotionally a B maybe.
Yeah. Well, and their little proposal was so awkward. Like, you could tell she didn't want to be there. And he acted like he was about to pull something out. He says it was a note, but I really do think it was a ring because this man
That
was begging her.
I know. And it was that thing was so it was almost as weird as JR and Sandy's proposal, but wasn't this proposal at that same weird house?
I think so.
Because as soon as we pulled up to that same weird house with all the flowers on it, I was like, "Oh, well, this one's gonna go badly too." The spot is ruined. It's the ruined spot. So
Yeah.
the only reason that makes me have a sliver of belief that maybe he had some weird paper, which he never explained what it was for, anyways, but maybe he had some paper, was because when he left and walked upstairs or whatever, he put something on the side table. And I was sure I was about to get, a cut scene of this ring just sitting on the side table as he walked away, and they didn't. And so
Mm.
maybe it was a piece of paper, but what paper? What does it say? An eviction notice from his apartment or something?
Right. And if you guys were just breaking up anyways, why didn't you read it?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what it was for. It was to be
That's the
read
thing.
during a
Yeah.
breakup.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it was a marriage
Yeah.
certificate and he was like, bam,
Trying
let's
to like
elope.
get it in there real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just elope instead. Isn't that what they did on the first season? Didn't
Yeah, I
somebody
think
just
they
get
took a lot of
married?
inspiration from season 1, wasn't it him and JR? Like, JR wanted to be like who the hell? I don't
Yes, he wanted to
know.
hook up with people, and
Yeah,
this guy wanted to get married on the ultimatum day.
I think so.
I
That's
bet you
my
he had a
theory.
marriage license ready for her to sign.
Well, exactly. I don't understand. If that was a note to break up with her, why you wouldn't read the damn note while you're breaking up?
If it's an eviction notice from your apartment, if it's a note to break up, if it's anything but a ring or a marriage license, then
It was his
you would.
vows. It had to have been.
It could have been.
You're so
And maybe they just didn't. They just cut the whole thing out and didn't show, the paper or anything because they
Mhm.
didn't want to get into it. And they probably cut a bunch of this out too because I bet you he said what it was.
It must have. I don't know. Like, I would think that if it was anything other than a ring, Sandy wouldn't have had that reaction for one. And then
Yeah,
two, she would have made it clear in the reunion, like, yeah, that was a note that he had. Because she was
yeah,
sticking up for him a little bit, especially when it came to the DMs or like him saying that he was there for Vanessa.
right.
Like, he's just saying he was there for you, so whatever. She butted herself in a little bit. So
Yeah,
mm,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that
Him,
whole proposal went awry. I do think that he was going to propose or ask to get married. I don't think he
me
was going to
too.
break up with her. The way that her like lips curdled when he started going for his jacket and
Yeah.
she just did this. She went to go like shake her head no and she was just like it was just she had
Like,
a visceral reaction to the
yeah.
idea of that man getting down on one knee. And you know, I guess that's probably a good thing because then that's not going to be a horrible memory for the two of them. This is bad enough, but we don't need to go the whole way, especially if it was some kind of marriage license or something.
See, I thought MGK and Roxanne was kind of like that, but apparently, that wasn't as bad of a choice as I thought. But
I think MGK performed enough of a miracle just in getting her to be engaged.
honestly, but this man, I don't know. I don't think he's stable enough still. I still think
Yeah.
something's off there, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and not everybody who goes through recovery has this wild physical transformation, but I don't know. He still looks
Yeah.
unwell. He
I
still
am
looks
happy that
puffy.
uh-huh. Yeah, I'm happy that he was able to like sit there and be like take accountability for things
He
at least.
needed
It's
to do
much
that.
better
Yeah.
than JR.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into her.
Who we getting into now? Okay.
Arya and my favorite Scotty Too Hottie. I don't.
Mrs. Disappointment and
Yeah.
Mr. Disappointment.
Well, I knew he was going to propose, and I figured he would
Obviously.
probably say yes, but it doesn't
But
shock me that the next day she broke it off. It really
it
doesn't.
disappoints me that this man just basically used all of the things that she's ever wanted against her to
Hmm.
basically force her to say yes. I mean, I think she said almost something along the lines of, I've been waiting so long for you to say that he was sorry for some pretty basic stuff that he's been doing for over a year.
Yeah.
And as soon as he started doing that, I was like, she's going to say yes, because how do you say no to that? How do you reject the only thing you've been asking for an entire year?
Right.
So I wasn't shocked to learn that their engagement didn't work out, but I was a little shocked to learn that it was the next day.
I wasn't shocked. I felt like she was just doing it for the camera almost in the moment. I'm like, she might be saying yes, but this almost doesn't feel like a yes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a beautiful proposal, but everyone, because we all watched them in their situation and saw
Mhm.
even just an edited version of it, everyone who was watching was like, sure, this is beautiful. You guys are matching and this is cute and this is what it's supposed to look like, but it's not authentic. None of this is real. Scotty Too Hottie is still way too hottie in his hot head. And this girl is still such a quiet people pleaser. She can't even stand up for her own self when she's committing to someone for life.
Not anymore. She came into this reunion
She
so
came into
hot.
that. I
She
was
was,
confused by that as well.
yeah, she came in so like upset. She was mad at
Garrett,
Scotty. She was mad at
is that his
other
name?
dude. What was his name? Caleb. She was mad at him as
Caleb.
well.
Yes.
She was mad at everybody. I mean, she even got mad at JR, it felt like.
She did. She did. She had a couple of times that she had to pop off on some people. I'm surprised she didn't come in with a QR code herself for some things and some receipts.
I think she was asking Zaino where to get it.
I think she was.
It was
Or
her. It
maybe
was
that was
Sandy trying to
Sandy.
suck up because Sandy
Uh,
was trying to suck up to her so hard during that scene. Like, and the
Sandy was
entire
always,
time,
yeah.
it felt like Sandy was trying to defend herself, like almost tooth and nail, like in a way, like I'm the girl's girl. Like, I didn't mean to do this, and I'm sorry I did that. And it's like, girl,
No, I said it last time. Sandy's the type of woman who likes to flirt with men by talking with them about how they're not treating their girlfriends right. And
Mhm.
here you are flirting with somebody's man, but you're all, oh, did you cook breakfast for her? Are you taking care of her like you would for
Taking a
me?
cry over me when I
Yeah, it's so
leave.
gross. Like
Yeah,
that, you're flirting with this man that way. Just, you're yucky. But,
yeah,
anyways, back to Arya.
yeah. We'll go back to them, and then yeah, we'll talk about how I just felt about their whole dynamic, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know why she thought that. Why do I keep wanting to call him Garrett? Caleb. I don't know why she thought that Caleb owed her something. I don't. I understand that we don't see everything that transpired, but there's
Mhm.
a friendship vibe than any kind of other vibe going on between the two of them. So I'm not exactly sure why she came in demanding answers about their
Yeah,
relationship. Didn't they have that whole closure conversation on the balcony, and you're a wonderful man and we're gonna, step away from each other? And she even said, he said Mariah doesn't want me to be around, so I'm not going to be around. And so what are you, so I don't get it. We must have missed something, or
I guess it's really because he was liking her stuff, and I think
who
I'm gonna just
cares?
say, I think she developed quite the crush on my man's Caleb, and I think he
Yes.
was kind of low key hoping that they wouldn't work out, and maybe him liking her stuff and looking at her stuff meant like he might be kind of sniffing around and maybe she was just kind of hoping he would get slide in her shit, and then she's thinking that now is a betrayal against Mariah because she's built up their connection so much. I think Arya fell a little bit harder than Caleb did. I do think Caleb had feelings for her for sure, and I think he minimized his feelings,
Yeah.
but this girl's coming to a reunion hot off the presses about some story views and some likes.
Yes.
Like
It
this
doesn't
man was
sound like he
DMing
was
her.
DMing her or saying anything on the
He didn't say
side.
anything.
And he's like, I look at everybody's stories and I believe that. He's just dumb, like he doesn't
Who was
know.
shocked? He was like, wait a minute. We were just talking about my vacation.
Yeah. Because they were just talking about his vacation.
And I guess they've never spoken in DMs and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, why Arya came in like that. Like, did something else? Are we, like you said, are we missing something, or is there a blank I'm missing? Is this Mad Libs? How did we get from here to there?
I
Like,
have no idea. I don't know. And I don't know why Mariah was really that upset about it. I mean, I guess.
I think the blocking would be weird, especially since, if everybody was on the same show together, I would be like, okay, well, why are you blocking her? But I don't think
And
it's like
unblocking.
detrimental to their relationship, which is why they didn't harp on this issue. But I do
Mhm.
think that they had some kind of talk after the show, like, what's going on with you and this girl's stories and stuff? Like, why is she
Right.
so mad at this reunion?
Right.
I thought we were gonna have the easiest time here. Got people
I know.
yelling
Just
at us
talk
out the
about our
gate.
vacation and then move on. But no, we have this whole watching people's story situation, which is really nothing. But I don't know. Something I guess is making me feel like I'm missing something because
It's that, or
why
I
would you also block and unblock? There's something emotional there, unless he's just having a moment. But really, when you're on vacation with your fiance you're so in love with, you're just thinking about unblocking Arya.
possible. Maybe he did have a thought for a week, but it was just a week, I guess. And then, it seems like he kept to himself for the whole rest of the year. So I don't know if we can really like punish the man.
I don't think we should be. I mean, I didn't even know why Mariah was that upset about it, but I understand if you're on a television show learning
Yeah.
about something for the first time after however long. I wouldn't want any
Right.
contact probably between the two of them ever, but or either. But I also don't think Arya is all that threatening to him,
No, but it
even
seemed like she
though
wanted to be. Like, even when she was going to girls' night, she's like, what should I tell her? Blah, blah, blah. And I get that Caleb was being a little bit, I don't know, I guess not as forthcoming about his feelings for Arya and stuff like that. I do think they built a connection, but it seemed like Arya really wanted to show it. Like, she really wanted to like go out there and be like,
yeah.
this is a possibility. We might leave together. You never
But
know.
didn't she go back to Scotty Too Hottie and
She
say
did.
something along the lines of, I think he has more feelings for me than I do for him?
Probably. I
I
don't
think she
know.
did.
She was kind of a little bit of a wreck to me this whole reunion. She went from that to going in on Scotty Too Hottie again, and then yeah, it
Hmm.
just she kind of came to this reunion. She came in hot. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the girl was ready to get into it.
Yeah. Well, she
Um,
got into it. She just didn't really have much to get into, just a little couple of views here and there, which I don't think is a very big deal.
yeah. Yeah, well,
I think they've
apparently
all
her
communicated in some way, shape, or form.
apparently her and Scotty tried to get it to work after call it off the engagement. They moved in together. They sadly suffered a miscarriage, and she's now they're broken up, and she's was up in there crying about how she didn't give up and all this. And I get that. It felt like she was a truly broken person on the couch for real. It was
Yeah.
hard to watch, honestly. I felt really bad for her.
She needs some support, but
Yeah.
I think she's got a little bit of some skewed ideas of how things are going, but also I feel like the more and more that we learn about her relationship with her dad and her relationship with Scotty and how they both seem to be
Mhm.
really abrasive kind of men who yell a lot, I see why she's so quiet and passive and people pleasing, but she's not gonna, kind of heal from all that stuff if she's in those kinds of relationships. So
Right.
I'm glad that she's speaking up now, but she's, I don't know, she got to find her way, I guess. I'll have
Yeah.
some compassion and, you know, hold some
Yeah.
hold
I
some
feel
space for her.
I just feel like the more I see them in this reunion, I'm just like, they're just not a good match. I really hope that they don't keep going back and forth. I don't know why the Lachey's keep wanting to like kind of root for some of these couples. Like it seemed like they wanted to root for Scotty and Arya. They wanted to like almost tease JR and Zaina for a second. They kind of kept asking her, like, oh, well, would you? And Zaina's like, no.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it seems like I don't know. It's like stop trying to make fetch happen. Like
yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think somebody even asked, these two, are you guys, thinking about
Yes.
getting back together? And I just, It was really sad to hear that they experienced a miscarriage together, and I'm sure that that was took a big toll on their relationship. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think they should have parted ways after their engagement was called off.
Yeah. Well, I think at least now they just both look so disheveled that whether or not they should be together is almost redundant at this point. They just both
Yeah.
need to go heal. And then if it's truly meant to be, with anyone in this world, if it's truly meant to be, it will be. But
Yeah.
yeah, these people are both broken people. Like even Scotty over here looks like a broken person. Like he's not he
Scotty
ain't
Jr.
yeah, he seems a little bit traumatized compared to JR.
He does. Yeah.
He does. He was very quiet, I think. He was the most quiet I've seen him than any episode. So,
That's true. He usually does have quite a bit to say, but we heard a lot from Arya. So
yep, they flip-flopped on me,
yeah,
so I wasn't
she was
prepared.
even asking him, you can add to this if
He
you
was
want
just
to
like
say something about how all this went down. But he pretty much agreed with it all, even the bad parts about him. So
the only thing
I
he's
don't.
piped up about was that everybody was going too hard on Nick at one point. He's like, "All right, I think we're good." I was like, "Okay, Scotty,
Yeah,
you're good. You're done
yeah.
with that."
hmm
But
Yeah, he
yeah,
didn't even have much to say when Zaina was trying to accuse JR of manipulating or trying to make the relationship between her and
yeah, it was a big
Scotty
deal
too
to this
high.
man for 3 days, and then when they asked him about the JR rumor, they asked him if he wants to know, and he didn't even answer.
Yeah.
Zane was just like, "I do." And it's like,
I
"But
know.
you know." Okay.
I know.
And she's like, "Scotty, this is the" he still didn't it's like the man couldn't find a single F-U-C-K. Like,
No.
he's been looking on the ground the entire time, couldn't find
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I think Scotty and JR have a lot in common, actually, now that I think about it.
They probably do, honestly,
Yeah.
but JR's just I don't know. There's something about him. I just feel like he was doing a lot of this for his fitness stuff and I think he had multi interests in this
Yeah.
project. I think he was trying to get rid of his girl and build up his fitness. But
That's exactly right. Yeah. He was
and
trying to
trying to shop
constantly
around for new
himself.
girls because his DMs is gonna be, especially if he says he never messes with white girls, he's gonna have a whole DM filled with white girls. Like, let me help
Maybe that was his ploy to lie and say that he's never messed with white girls because we all know that he has. And then he just did that
yeah.
to bring them in,
He's like, let me
rake
help
them
you.
all in.
Yeah.
That guy is annoying.
Ugh, I know.
So who else is next?
We honestly covered all of them. I think. Was there any couples we missed?
We talked about Mariah and Caleb. We
I
talked
do
about
want to
Scotty
say
Too Hottie.
her dress situation, the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
Perfection. Her wedding
Perfection.
dress should look just like that, but just
Whiter.
whiter and dressier, like ball
A
gownier.
veil. Something. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
but just she
gorgeous.
looks like she's mummified, but in a good way.
She looked amazing. That
Yeah,
was the best. I've never seen somebody propose to in such a beautiful dress. Not
I know.
even on any of the Love is Blinds. Like, that was beautiful and it looked great on her.
I know. Even the dress that she wore to the reunion was also gorgeous. And
Mhm.
I love her hair when it's all curled. I don't know, for some reason it just looks so bouncy and
She's
healthy.
really pretty, and
She
it's like
is.
she
When
just
she's
wasn't
happy,
clowning.
she looks happy and good. We
That's
watched this girl
true.
sit in a room by herself for 3 weeks reading about how to be a better
Person.
girlfriend or
Yeah.
person or whatever. And so she went just immediately from sadness and anxiety and fear to just instant
This
elation as soon as she got
goddess.
engaged.
Yeah. And that's why
Yeah,
he's
and
so
then she
damn
turned
happy
into a
too.
goddess.
Can I just say the moment this man saw her, I knew he was gonna propose to her. Like he was even trying to rush her through her BS. Like he's just like, all right, like let's just can I she's like, and if this doesn't work out, he's like, can I just ask? Like And then the way she paused for so long to say yes, and he's like, "Okay, it's your time to shine."
I know. Well, he already had the
That was
ring
so cute.
on her finger, and then she was like, "Oh yes,
And he was
yes."
shaking too with that ring on her finger, like, "Okay, here you
I
go."
think they had definitely this season the most
Mhm.
authentic relationship in
Yeah.
general and proposal, obviously, because we only
Mhm.
saw two of those and one was just fake as hell. But
Mhm.
I think they've had one of the most authentic relationships and proposals ever on the Ultimatum. I
Oh,
think
for
they're
sure.
truly just real people who had a problem with what their future was going to hold. And they actually seem to have gotten a lot out of this, even though Mariah's whole, trial marriage was just with herself. But I'm glad she said that she brought it up, I think, either the day before the ultimatum day or in the reunion, that she kind of looked at it as she gave the ultimatum, so this is what it'd be like if they actually like broke up because of that, or if he actually
Mm.
left. And so she kind of used that time to sit with it that way, which I think was a better idea than just being pissed off about being ripped off in the whole
Yeah.
situation, like
Like
Nick.
Nick. Nick.
Now I can't unsay it. That's why I
Nick.
kept thinking his name was wrong. I'm like, it can't be Nick.
It's
We just
Nick.
had a Nick.
Oh, they got a Nick every season, and we always got Nick Lachey.
Oh, we always have Nick Lachey.
Always have a Nick. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought that their whole proposal was just the cutest thing that Ultimatum for sure has ever given me, and possibly even Love Is Blind. I
Yeah.
thought that their whole little setup, I thought that because the moment he saw her, it was done. It was a done deal. Like his face lit up a different way. I was like, okay, this man is proposing no matter what. So,
Yes. Yeah.
and he just seems real smitten with her ever since. Like, and even at the reunion, he was all excited to talk about his trip. Like, Arya really came out of
He could
nowhere
have
with that.
cared less too. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
He was like, all right, this is not what I came here for and put on a suit for.
Yeah. And honestly, that just was not a good look for Arya. I
It
think
wasn't.
she came in there, she was doing too much to that
Mhm.
man. He was just there trying to have his happy story. I mean, out of 6 couples, we only had one happy story, which I'm okay with. I don't expect all of them to end up well. In fact, when we gave our predictions, I was talking about how in the past seasons we've seen people just sort of get engaged because the
Uh-huh.
cameras are there, sort of like what Arya did. And I thought that that was going to happen pretty much with all these couples. I did have some suspicions about the JR and Sandy connection, but as soon as they said no to each other, I was like, okay, all these stupid people are about to get engaged.
Yep.
And I
Well,
thought maybe Sandy would say no because there was some borderline ababa going on, but other than that, I thought the rest of them were on and popping. So I'm happy actually because Zaina just needs to stay far away from JR.
see, I never thought JR was gonna get engaged. I thought he was always gonna say no because he always just gave kind of like F boy energy.
Yeah, that's true. I
So
mean, the more that we learn about his social media situation, I guess there's no way in hell that he would get engaged on national television.
yeah,
No
if
way
he
in hell.
asked, I think he would have, but I don't think that he was really gonna ask. But speaking of doing too much, this girl, these tears that they showed her have when Nick said something about having a girlfriend, was that just Netflix weird editing? Because there's no way she's sad about Nick having a new girlfriend.
No, I think she was crying about the things that he was saying on the show to her. They brought up a lot of they were trying to
I
figure out
hope
some of the
so.
content of the text messages. So I think she was crying about that, and then
Okay.
that was
Yeah, I
shown.
hope so. Because the way that in the sequence that they showed it made it seem like she got a little teary eyed when he said something about having a girlfriend. And I'm like, oh God, no,
No,
don't
I
do this
think
to
she had
her.
either just got done crying and they showed her that way, or they just threw that in
Hmm.
there because no, absolutely not.
And I don't
She
care how she
drove
wants
him
to.
to rehab. This girlfriend can't even really be that serious.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't care how they want to spin it. Like, this girl is not a girl's girl or whatever the Netflix. I can't stand the whole girl's girl thing anyway. So I don't really even mind that she's not. But
Yeah, like
she's not
just
a
be
girl.
nice.
But I don't appreciate that she was telling Zaina that she's no threat and all this stuff. They really were downplaying their connection as well. So
Yeah,
when they got
yeah,
called out, they were both kind of like, "What?
yeah.
That's just not what it was." There's just complete denial, and it's like, y'all, y'all had to have been a little. There've been a little something else maybe going on there, but not maybe full on. But maybe
They
something.
really have a did they or don't they going on. I think everyone has an opinion on if they did or didn't. And I mean, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Anybody else you want to touch on? What do you think about Vanessa Lachey's outfit this time?
That her nipples were barely covered up.
She's like wearing a bra with like a really big tank top that just went.
It was more like a corset with like a bloop.
With like a cutout or something.
Yeah, what's her name? The girl
Yeah.
from season 3. It was like little stickers basically, it seemed like. Like she just had a
Oh, who was
corset
on season 3?
covering her boobs and then just nipples.
Well, the amazing thing I will say is that we do know now that they're doing a season 2 of Queer Love, and I'm so excited for that.
So where did you see that? Because I didn't see that on the end.
So it's not actually on the end of the reunion. It's actually just on Netflix. If you go and look at Queer Love and you try to look at the show, it says another season is confirmed to be coming. So just check it
I
out.
hope that they have gay men.
You know what? That'd be good. I was hoping that they would actually show a trailer or something, but apparently they did not.
I
So,
thought that's what you said
mm-mm.
or meant. That's not what you said, but I thought that's what you meant when you texted me.
No, that's not.
I'm looking it up. Anyways, anything else that we should discuss? Does anyone have any comments before we get out of here and skedaddle?
Yeah, we don't have our usual people actually right now.
I know. Why?
It is the last time I'm able to use this photo. Speaking of showing skin. I wonder if he shaves or whatever, but yeah, my man's JR came through showing like cleavage everywhere again, as usual.
I don't think he has a shirt that he truly knows how to button up.
Like the top ones don't work.
Yeah, it's like all his top buttons are broken.
He gets to the top and he's like, these ones
You know
just
what?
don't work.
I feel like we're lucky sometimes that this man even has a shirt on.
Yeah, true. All right, well, I don't really have anything else on these people if you don't.
No, I'm just over here trying to figure out when Queer Love comes out.
Yeah, I hope it comes out soon. You guys just keep an eye out. If it comes out soon, we'll definitely be here to talk about it live because Queer Love was just so much better than all the other ones.
I know.
Just for the drama.
I know. Yeah.
I don't care if it's with, lesbians again or trans or gay. I don't even care. I don't care what
Just
the
give me
genre
all
is.
the queer love.
Give me them all. I think that it was perfection.
I think the thing with queer love is that, people who are queer have already faced a battle of being authentic and they're not as scared about everybody's stuff. And so they just show up as themselves because they're already out and who they are and it doesn't matter. And so I just think it comes across better and more genuine. Obviously everyone's there for like a touch of fame, but that's how it should be. Should be there for a touch of fame and then actually be a genuine person. There for the right reasons.
I think maybe that's why it comes across better too with Queer Love is just that they don't hold back.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there's a lot of holding back with these other people. I mean, even got people leaving in the middle of the night, which their reason was okay, I get it, whatever, but it's still stupid. I still think that they affected the whole show. They should be fined.
I think if Vanessa really felt unsafe, which I can get behind, or felt weird, she should have started off with asking for a different apartment for a couple of days or, some kind of way to cool things off.
Yeah, or at least they could have told us that, like it could have been what was said in the thing. Like, so at least we could be a little bit more understanding. Be like,
instead of running off in the middle of the night like a bunch of weirdos.
Refugees.
He grabs his laptop, like the biggest thing in the world. How do you do that in secret? You don't,
It was the
obviously.
whole desktop,
Yes,
wasn't
his
it? Like an
desktop.
iMac
Yes, it
or
was a
something.
monitor the size of my bedroom.
It's like, damn. They were only like a day or two in when that happened, so
I know. He was ready to go, but so he
they
just
were
needed
all
Vanessa to say the word.
either way.
But
All right. Well,
okay.
what are you guys? If you guys were surprised by any of the outcomes, let us know. I wasn't surprised by any of them, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
even less surprised. I was more surprised at the engagement of Scotty and Arya almost. Like I wasn't surprised they got engaged, but I was more surprised that like I don't know. I guess that they kind of had such a big turn of events. Is
Yeah.
that a way to
The
put
whole
it?
thing was interesting. Yeah.
Because they could
I
have
don't
went
even
either way to
know.
me, but
Yeah, I don't even know if they would have gotten engaged had Scotty not been able to conjure up all those words and apologies and sorrows. Sorrows, sorrows. You should not be proposing with your sorrows. Just
yeah.
FYI.
And he does wear a lot of red or variations of red. He's got maroon, he's got red.
Uh-huh.
He wore the red jacket on the first day.
He's like
He
Solvin
wore
Robin.
he wore like a red plaid blue jacket when he was walking out with
You're
Zaina.
right. Yeah, you're
And then
right.
he's always coordinated with whoever he's shown up with. Like even him and Arya were coordinated at this thing.
Mhm. Right.
And I
Yeah.
was like, I thought y'all
Oh, and
already
then we found out that Caleb likes to color coordinate his outfits with
yeah,
Mariah too.
apparently. I thought that was
Yeah.
cute. I thought that was
I
funny.
thought that was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I thought when they asked if you learned anything since getting engaged, she was gonna say something stupid like, he doesn't clean his socks correctly or something dumb. But she actually had something cute to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like them. I wish them well. We wish you
Well, we wish
we
you well
wish you
today.
well.
All right, Chick Chat. Well, on that note, we wish you well.
We
And
wish you
tonight,
well.
remember to join us next time for Queer Love. Keep your eye
Yeah.
out for us.
Yes.
Subscribe, like, share.
Yeah, thanks for popping in or watching, or if you've seen any portion of this, happy holidays to all of you. Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll be back with Queer Love, or probably Perfect Match, I'm guessing, is the next on the roster here. So that'll be a fun one. I don't think we've actually covered that. So we'll definitely be going live about that.
Yeah.
Right. Got to be.
We definitely will. We'll come back for you guys. And
All
definitely
right.
follow to see other content that we have. And then if you want us to cover something special, maybe send us a comment. We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think it over. It'll take about 3 business days. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And we'll make an executive decision for the group.
All right. Well,
All right.
for now.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, share the link, help us grow. We really appreciate everyone who is here. And bye-bye.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and goodbye.
We wish you well.
I wish you well.